camping again, and I haven't opted for a mountaintop. I've gone for a site, and I'll explain why in the video. But first things first, gotta get the tent up. It's the OEX Fox One version 2, really cheap, a lot cheaper than it originally sold for. So I'll get it pitched. Welcome to Snowdonia again. Moyle Shabod in the background. I'm not going up that tomorrow. Mat's blown up. I've got another little mat underneath there, just in case there's anything hard underneath. I don't want it puncturing my mat. Trachology pillow, not used it before. Getting your pillow right is the difference between having a night's sleep and not, because if you get it wrong, it's uncomfortable. So I've got my down bag, which is comfortable down to -15, but because I run cold and I have Raynaud's, I have to be a bit careful about making sure I stay warm. I've also got a reactor which gives you another couple of degrees, so it should make the bag a bit warmer than it already is, which is ideal for me. And I've also got the tent slippers, and that's, again, just another layer of insulation, which for me, because I'm such a lightweight, may be necessary tonight. We'll see. It's not supposed to get down to freezing, but having said that, they are giving out potential for frost in some of the valleys, so we'll see. The only thing I've got left to do now is get some tea on. Tonight, Matthew, we're having, it's dehydrated food, which just reminds me of living in a bedsit in my late teens. Not pleasant. But apparently these are supposed to be quite good, so I'm going to give it a whirl. And if I don't like it, I'm sure I'll tell you. Kettle's boiled, so I've got a brew. There was plenty of water in there for my food and my coffee. And now my meal is sitting in that bag, rehydrating, I presume. Just hope it's not a disappointment. But I'm here, and today I wasn't quite sure whether I was going to end up here at all. I almost talked myself out of it, because originally my plan was to get high up in the mountains and wild camp. I thought about it a lot yesterday and today, and I had a few different places I thought might work. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to find something somewhere, and a couple of places might have been okay, but there's issues with parking around here, so I would have had to have waited until 6 o'clock for one. For the place I had in mind that wouldn't have been such an issue with parking, it's a route I've never done. I'm a little bit risk averse, and that was what was niggling. It was the thing that almost stopped me from coming at all. So I decided instead it's better for me to come out, know that I'm safe down here, get my kit together. I know that carrying all your luggage for me is going to be about 13-14 kilos because of all my camera equipment, tripod. The tripod head weighs a kilo in itself, so they're things I've got to just be mindful of. So there was lots of things going against the idea of going up tonight. Also, because I don't know the route and carrying the extra weight, the estimated time to get to the top is probably going to take me longer. And then I've got to find somewhere suitable to pitch up. I've opted instead for the safety of being on site. Get up first thing, go and scope the route out without a heavy pack on. I'll still be carrying some stuff, but nowhere near as much as I would normally if I'm taking all my tent and everything with me. Not that that's heavy, but every little counts. And then I can go and find out what the view looks like. I kind of have an idea, but I'd like to know for myself where the best place to pitch and where the best place to take the photograph would be. So doing that without the pressure of having to find a pitch sounds like a bit of a sensible plan, rather than jumping in with both feet. And if I think it's worth going up there, then I'll come back and I'll do it, and I'll wild camp it instead. For my first wild camp on my own, shitting bricks, if I'm honest. I'm quite a nervous person, and I think people who know me well enough get that. But if I'm trying to show the people, other women particularly, and also people of my age, coming up to my mid-50s, and if I'm trying to show that you can go and do this stuff, then I've got to do it. Because if I can't do it, how can I inspire women to come and do this stuff on their own? There's plenty of men doing it. They're all over YouTube. I'd like to see more women doing this. I don't mind taking the experiences of men, but I'd like to see women doing it. Because it's nerve-wracking doing this stuff on your own. And it sounds cool, getting out, being adventurous and all the rest of it. But the reality is you're still on your own. You can't rely on someone else if shit hits the fan. Got there in the end, didn't I? No complaints. I might just move my car, because it'd be quite nice for that sun to be able to sit on my tent and get it warmed up for the night. And also, the tea will be ready in a few minutes. So, we'll see how that goes. I gotta say, it stinks of mushroom soup, and I'm not a fan of that smell, but I'm prepared to give it the benefit of the doubt. Right, that is not bad. I know it stinks a little, so you just got to hold your breath a bit when you're eating, but actually doesn't taste too bad at all. It looks sunny, but don't be fooled. I'm absolutely nithered out here. It is cold. Cold for me anyway. And it's only going to get a bit colder as the night goes on and the sun goes down. It's not kicking out much heat, if I'm honest. It's a bit poor. So I think me coming today, in part, was me trying to say, no, I'm not having this. Stopping me from doing stuff. Well, I can't tell you how many times my head's got in the way. On the subject of anxiety, more specifically, what's termed imposter syndrome, that's kind of eaten me up over the years in its various guises. The way it shows up when I don't need it to, when I don't want it to. And it makes me feel like I don't belong in whatever world I'm in at that point. And actually, I'd never heard of it a few years back, till it was really affecting my life. It was just anxiety to me. was only when I started actually pinpointing what that anxiety was about. It stemmed from imposter syndrome. And one of my friends told me that most women have imposter syndrome. And I just thought, it's just sad that a lot of women go through life with this awful anxiety that just eats you up and makes life really difficult at times. But this is one thing I really want to see if I can change, both myself, but also, can I show other women they can do this? Can I give somebody the confidence that I don't have at the moment, but I'm hoping I'll develop it? But in time, can I then impart that confidence into another woman who looks at me and thinks she can do it, so I can do it? Because that's all I want to do. But it won't be easy. I know it won't be easy. I want more women showing that you can do this. And because there aren't many, that's one of the reasons I want to do it. Because there's a gap. There doesn't seem to be many women doing this stuff and sticking it on YouTube. But the ones that are doing it kind of quietly is great. And there'll be, I'm sure, lots of women that do it. But a lot of the feedback that I get is concern more than anything that I might attempt to go out on my own and camp on a mountain somewhere. And I guess that's the fear that something will happen to me while I'm out. I'm not intending to come out and take unnecessary risks. I'm just wanting to show that, you know, as a woman you can come out and do this on your own. That's awkward, isn't it? There's always got to be somebody driving by in a car when you're trying to do this. Get out. Yeah, the more I do it, I'm hoping the easier it will become. But there's a lot of fear. I'm carrying a lot of fear. And not only am I carrying my own fears, I'm carrying the fears of those around me that have shared their thoughts about it. It'd be nice to look back at this point and think it was just a hurdle that I had to work through. And now I've worked through it. It's become a lot easier. I'm determined to give it a whirl. And I will do whatever it takes to get myself to that point so that I give myself the best chance. Time for me to drink my coffee now because it's going cold. Right then, it's getting a bit later now. Not late. It's 7:30, and although it's early doors, I'm probably going to be starting early in the morning. So, go and sort myself out in the bathroom, get myself in my little tent, and hopefully have a good night's sleep. Try my new pillow out, see how that goes, and I'll see you in the morning. It's 5:05. I've got a frozen car. Which I'm going to have to defrost quietly. I've also got a frozen tent. Good morning. Proper good morning now. I've just parked my car near the old green cottage. You see driven behind me. Just coming into sunlight at the top. And I'm heading up the Garn. which is a mountain I've never done before. The sun's just starting to come up by the looks of it. There's a lot of fog in the valley, and quietly defrosted my car. That's rude, isn't it? I'm trying to tow up here. My car said -2 on the dashboard, so it was cold last night. I've got some thoughts about my tent, which, yeah, I'll talk about later when I get back to it, I think, when I've had time to think about it. Performed well in the freezing weather, but yeah, there's other issues that I've identified. So actually it was a good job I didn't go up last night. So I don't know if you can see, there is a mountain there that's in sun. That is where I'm heading. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I've got the cat's fluff on today because I'm anticipating a bit of wind up there. It's a bit of a breeze down here, so it'll only be stronger up the tops. So it's worth having it on. God. Cool glasses on. Not bad, is it? Peaceful. I've just put 2 hand warmers into the pouches of the back of my glove so they can be warming my gloves up, because when I take my hands out it is freezing. The higher we go, the colder it'll get. But wow. Just coming up the path now, away from the lake. Starting to head up. It's quite a good path up to now. Just stone slabs. I've had something to eat. Breakfast bar. It was lovely. Hopefully that'll do the job to get me up here. So a little bit of elevation gain, and it is a little, only from down there, and I've had to take a layer off because it's getting warm. Still good path, really good path. Just stone steps up to now. Don't know if the descent down the Devil's Kitchen is going to be quite as good. I haven't done it for a long time, so I can't remember what it used to be like. My hat's gone now. I've probably got flat air. Beautiful. You can pick out the path that I'd come up on. It's a good opportunity to get your breath back, having to film. So going up there. And it does literally look like it's straight up. Right, we've just come out the top of that steep section there. That was hefty, that. It wasn't scramble, but it wasn't far off. And I'm just going to be heading up there. Today that wind is really cold. That's looking down into the Ogwen Valley. Penny Owen towards the coast and then back round. That looks like a good pitch up there. Quite flat, grassy section. But it's a hefty climb to this point. I don't know if you can hear the wind. It's quite breezy. So I don't know if you can see, well, you can see the sea in the background through the dip there, but that shoulder that goes up, that's a route that comes out of Namperis. It's a leader far, and then you can drop over to here to Fulgoch, and then there is a fence that runs. You can probably just see the sun hitting some of those posts. Comes along this grassy top all the way along the shoulder and up to the top of Ergan. So I think the views are going to be stunning when we get over there. This place is just stunning. You kind of run out of words to describe it, because I feel like I just repeat myself. But that's not a bad thing, because that means, I don't know, gets to me in a nice way. And I don't think you can have too much of it. I appreciate every walk I can do because I can walk, and there's people who haven't got that capability for whatever reason. So just make the most of it while I can. Some people don't get the chance. Oh wow. Wow. You see the full horseshoe. It's incredible. Shelter, by the looks of it. Oh. Now I'm presuming that under my feet would have been a trig point. I shall have to lay her up in a second because it is cold up here. That's going to be freezing. Spare. So the route I'm going to be taking is to drop off there, follow that right along, and then there is a lake at the bottom there, and at that point I'll bail off to the left and down through the Devil's Kitchen. Quite lovely up here. It's so cold up here that I've had to resort to getting the Old Faithful on, and I wasn't sure I was going to have to do that, but as soon as you stop moving you really start to feel the temperature drop, and that wind just cuts straight through. Snowdon's looking glorious this morning. Looking down to Llanberis and the lakes. Out towards the coast behind me. Following the A5 up through the Ogwen Valley, which is down there. Then there's Trevan, Gliddervac and Gliddervour. Just beautiful. And I have not seen a soul so far. Oh, crikey, it's windy. Oh, my phone's ringing. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. So I've got to go over this stile, around that bend and that way. Just a bit of cloud bubbling up now. It's nice and warm there now. Ignore my little belly. Got my woolly hat in there. Just so I don't lose two hats. Anyway, that up there is where I've just come through. It's all right, scrambly, but it's okay. Most of it's steps. Some of them are just quite a big jump from one down to the next, but it's fine. And then in front of me, we've got the path in front. We're going to follow it right round there to the other side of the lake and off down into the valley. What a stunning place this is. Oh, what a lovely sound that is. If you can hear it. It's such a nice way to finish the walk off with that sound of the water. Absolutely stunning. Fantastic. That is a tow float, which means somebody's having a dip. Oh, it's going to be so cold in there. What a place to have a swim. Just gorgeous. Beautiful. Oh, that's not bad at all. It's hard to imagine that there's a route up through there. It just looks like a series of slabs and loose rock, but there is a path. What a day. What I was talking about in the campsite last night, about anxiety, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I tend to lose my voice a little bit if I'm anxious or stressed or worried about something. It kind of takes my voice away, and you can hear it a little bit now, but at the same time I could have been sat in my office today editing and regretting not coming, because I would never have seen what I've seen. I wouldn't have lost my hat either, but I wouldn't have seen what I've seen this morning. That looks good up the coast now. That sun in the valley, it's beautiful. So I'm glad I pushed myself to go. I've come away with a lot of lessons, which is always helpful. I just got to scribble them all down somewhere and make sense of them. Put them into a bit of a plan for next time, like I do. And hopefully bit by bit things get easier. What a place. It's amazing. I have seen quite a bit of rubbish along the way, just like random wipes, tissues, bottles. I just don't understand why you can't just pop it back in your bag and take it home. Nobody's coming to pick it up for you. Don't be a scruffy get. Take your crap home with you. Don't leave it for somebody else, and don't leave it for everybody to see, because it's not a good sight. It spoils it all. What a drink that is. That's incredible. If you wanted a refreshing drink at the end of your walk, that's it. Right there. Straight out of the fridge. Perfect. Okay, the tent is quick to put up. It was frosted over this morning on the outside, so I've just flipped it over to dry it all off. My issue is that the height of it means it's not really much bigger than a bivvy bag. There's not enough room to put anything in there, like rucksack, or for summer camping it'd be fine, I'm sure, where you're not expecting any damp overnight. But as soon as you move inside and push the fly against the inner, the water starts to seep through, and potentially then you've got wet stuff inside your tent, which isn't great. Also, I didn't mind so much, but if you happen to be claustrophobic, that is not a tent for you. You will be desperate to get out of it, because once you're in, you are in, and you literally have to crawl out to get out, because you're kind of lying down. You've got to do a bit of a commando crawl to get out. But for the price, it was fine. It just isn't something I would take up a mountain in winter, because I think you'd have to leave your rucksack outside, and once you've got in, I'm 5'7", and the top of my pad, sleeping pad, was almost touching one end, and the other side was almost touching the other end. So there was no real space for anything. But it's done its job. It just needs to dry out. And that's it. I'm done. I'm going to have my coffee while it's drying out. I'm glad I came out. I could have made a big error by staying at home, because all I'd have been doing is sitting wondering what it would have been like. Would I have seen something I've never seen before? And I have. I mean, Snowdon from that side is just incredible. It's a lovely day. It's nice and warm. I'm probably going to look to do some photography on the way home. So I'll pick a nice coastal location, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.